Planned Parenthood understands that abortion stigma can make you feel isolated and scared. Listening to one another is how we build strong and supportive communities. That's why Planned Parenthood is sharing stories of resilience and hope from real people who've had abortions. Let's help create a world where everyone can get the care they need. Learn more at plannedparenthood.com/endstigma.
Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school, life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of, one that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. We're celebrating Pride Month with icons, supreme queens of queer culture. Some are household names, others are a little more behind the scenes. All have defied social norms and influenced generations of people to be unapologetically themselves. Today we're talking about an iconic drag queen from New Zealand, an activist, a performer, a would-be politician, and above all, a barrier breaker for the queer community. Let's talk about Carmen Rupe. Carmen was born on October 10, 1936, in the rural community of Waimiha in New Zealand. She was one of 13 kids born to Elsie Wilson. From a young age, Carmen knew her identity did not fit into the confines of the gender assigned to her at birth. She grew up dressing in her grandmother's clothes and performed hula in a dress at a local celebration. Throughout Carmen's childhood, her mother Elsie was a fountain of support and helped Carmen find her identity. When she was 15 years old, Carmen left school. She entered the queer scene of New Zealand and started socializing with drag queens. Soon after, she was enlisted into compulsory military service. It was there that Carmen started her drag career, entertaining and performing for other soldiers. After moving to Auckland to work as a nurse, Carmen began dressing in traditionally feminine clothes full-time and entered sex work. She also worked as a dancer, performing hula, belly dancing, and mime. She dubbed herself Carmen in honor of the silver screen icon Carmen Miranda. In the early 1960s, Carmen was arrested on her way home from a show under the charge of behaving in an offensive manner in a public space. In layman's terms, the cop didn't like that she was dressed in women's clothes while having a male sex marker on her legal documents. But when she was brought in front of a judge, they ruled it was not illegal for men to wear women's clothes. With that simple ruling, Carmen's case opened doors for trans folks across New Zealand to dress however they wanted without fearing legal repercussions. Later on, Carmen became likely one of the first people to have a passport with a dash under the sex marker rather than an M or an F. In 1967, she opened Carmen's International Coffee Lounge, a late-night cafe whose second floor functioned as a sex venue. The interior was decked out in plush rugs and velvet curtains, decorated with faux antiques and turquoise fish tanks. From 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., patrons could get tea, coffee, sodas, pastries, and more. Customers would identify their sexual preferences by how they arranged their teacups and saucers on their tables. Carmen presided over it all, always made up with big hair and striking makeup. She kept her employees safe from police and clients and hired folks from the queer community to work in different areas of the establishment. The cafe grew to be so popular, Carmen was able to open up other coffee lounges across New Zealand. She even opened a nightclub called The Balcony, which offered an incredible spectrum and spectacle of nightly shows. Carmen was also well known to those outside of the LGBTQ+ community for her outspoken and unapologetic nature. In one 1975 TV interview, she sparked outrage after saying she knew at least one member of parliament was homosexual, and others were bisexual. Lawmakers were so outraged they ordered her to appear before Parliament. She did, and met the media dressed glamorously all in black. Just a few months later, She dressed in just a fur stole of the Trenton races, only to remove it and appear topless. A photo of her scandalous look made the rounds on the front page of the Sunday papers. Carmen always used her public persona to support the community she cared for. She did public talks for charity, judged the Miss New Zealand drag show, and in one instance ran for mayor. Her slogan was "Get in behind," and her platform included legalizing sex work, abortions, homosexuality, and nude beaches. While Carmen never became mayor, all of her reforms were eventually instated in New Zealand. In 1979, the lease of the balcony ended. After hosting a huge farewell ball, Carmen decided to close her business and move to Sydney. She continued to make occasional guest appearances at clubs and was a venerated matriarch of the LGBTQ+ community. In 1996, she became a Diva Hall of Fame recipient, and in 2003 received a New Zealand Hero Lifetime Achievement Award. Carmen died of kidney failure in Sydney on December 15, 2011. She was 75 years old. Today, if you travel to Wellington, you can see an image of Carmen transformed into the pedestrian crossing lights on Cuba Street. Her legacy lives on. All month, we're talking about icons. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Talk to you tomorrow. Planned Parenthood fights every day so all people can get the care and education they need to live full, healthy lives. That means having the freedom to control your own body and make decisions for your future, including whether to have an abortion. Abortion storytellers are important. Their powerful narratives, each as unique as they are, reject silence and shame. That's why Planned Parenthood is building a platform to share stories, busting stigma and breaking down barriers to essential health care, one voice at a time. Together, we can help create a future where all people are free to make their own decisions, no matter what. Learn more at PlannedParenthood.com/EndStigma.
Get moving in the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet, like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed for more responsive performance. Honda, the 2022 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Make a move and find the Honda CR-V Hybrid or Accord Hybrid for you.
Get a springtime deal on the Honda for you. See your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
Blue Ridge Hospice thrift shops are bigger and better than ever, with a new and expanded site at one of our 2 Winchester locations and our 6 well-established boutiques across the area. Blue Ridge Hospice thrift shops attract bargain hunters, treasure seekers, collectors, and antiquers. Mention this ad on your next shopping trip and receive a 10% discount. Blue Ridge Hospice thrift shops gratefully accept your donations, including electronics and furniture. For locations, hours, and information on how to donate, please visit BlueRidgeHospice.org.